Hi, Jeff. Thank you for joining me today. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Thanks, Teresa. Well, my name is Jeff O'Toole, and I've worked at the Lamb Family College of Business for the last 20 years. Before that, I had worked at the University, San Francisco State, for another 6 years in fiscal operations. I am currently working to support the Student Success Center, and where I help with the virtual drop-in hours and communications for the college.
Thank you. So whenever we want to do something with student groups, we're always like, let's talk to Jeff. How did you become so involved with student groups?
Well, actually, I was kind of voluntold to work with them at the very beginning. I didn't know that much about student orgs, but the more I worked with them, the more I liked what they do and got to learn about the opportunities and how they helped our students to find jobs and to make friends while they're at our university. I also was working with our career services group, and they would work together with student organizations to have presentations on LinkedIn or other career readiness things. And so overall, I really think all students should try it, at least try one group and see how you like it.
Yeah. So it sounds like you really like working with student groups. Is there anything in particular?
Yes, I really like the energy the students bring and the creativity they bring to their process of holding events, outreaching to new students, fundraising, and professional development opportunities. I especially like the fact that students, if they want to, can become involved in leadership and take on committee roles or be officers of clubs, which helps build their professional skills and their competence.
How many student groups are there in the Lamb Family College of Business?
Currently, there are around 15 student organizations.
Okay. Are they associated with specific majors? Can anybody join them?
Yes, well, some of the student organizations have a particular name of a department or concentration in their name, and they do pretty much attract people in that major, although there is a requirement that any student organization that's registered at San Francisco State, they must invite all students to join. So the registration is open to all, and usually it's a self-selection process, I believe.
That makes sense. And there's also a couple of organizations that are across departments, right?
Right. We have 2 business fraternities, and we also have providing opportunities for women that is open to all majors.
Very nice. So 15 groups approximately in the College of Business. How many student groups are there overall at San Francisco State?
There are around 300 student organizations that cover all the major and interests, any interest, including sports clubs, fraternities, and even social or specific interests like gaming, cultural clubs like Korean Students Association or Chinese Student Association. So there's something for everyone.
I was going to say, I thought there was a gaming club, and I think there's also maybe something on comics, but there's a lot. There's a lot out there. What are the benefits to students of getting involved with student groups?
I think there are so many benefits, but the ones I see the most are career readiness and professional development, because these student groups often bring companies in and or alumni to speak to our current students, and they can include insights and tips, and also help students to connect to different companies through networking. The other benefit of joining a student organization is that students can practice leadership skills, and I think that is very important in the current to prepare students for their job, for potential job search. Also, there are social activities, and we all need friends. We all need some social community. So that is another aspect. And many of the student organizations also have a component where they give back to the community, like blood drives or volunteering at different nonprofits. So I believe those are all very good reasons to join. And also it can amplify your knowledge that you get in the classroom and maybe get to apply it and also discuss it with your peers.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with all of those reasons that you stated. Do you have a sense of what sort of time commitment is required?
Well, for some of the fraternities, there is a pretty strict requirement. However, for the other 90% of student orgs, most of them have weekly meetings and maybe a monthly activity. However, I've found that generally, as long as you can attend a majority of the meetings, most organizations are pretty understanding. And I think you get more out of this student organization if you plan to join as many as you can.
Of course, of course. Does it cost money to join a student group?
Most of the student orgs have a small fee, and it's usually pretty reasonable. I've seen fees between $35 and $85, but most are around the $35 range.
Got it. And I imagine that if you can't afford it, there's some way of making some arrangement.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Have student groups been active during the pandemic?
Yes, they have. I have heard from PAL that they had one of their best attended semesters last semester, and they've been having their weekly meetings. They had a lot of guest speakers. Just everything was done on Zoom. So that was encouraging. And also I heard from the International Business Society that they had several game nights and study sessions where they used Zoom breakout rooms. They had music or quiet, but it was just a place to hang out online. And there was one other student organization that held 2 career events virtually.
Wow.
So, yeah, some of the creativity that this orgs used during this pandemic time was really impressive.
Yeah, it sounds like they just rolled with the punches and made the best out of it. Take advantage of the technology that we have. If a student were interested in joining a student group, how would they go about doing that?
They can look at our Lamb Family College of Business Student Resources website to see a listing of all the student orgs and a little description and get contact information there.
Okay, cool. I'll put the link in the video here.
Great. They can also go to Gator Experience and search for student organizations that they may be interested in. And Gator Experience has all student organizations, including business student organizations. They also have a page where you can see event flyers and find out more about what's going on campus.
That's great. That's great.
They can reach out to me directly, and I'll provide my email.
Okay, yeah.
I'm happy to help students to connect with an organization.
Yeah, and I know that you are. I've seen it in action. So I'll put the email, I'll put your email address in the video, but it's not going to be clickable. But at least they'll have that. All right. Well, thank you, Jeff, for taking the time to speak with me and answer all my questions. And I look forward to seeing you around.
Thank you, Teresa. It's been great being with you today.